Coach Can I get your attention, please? Right here in the front. Can I get your attention just for a quick second? As everybody comes in, if you can get a drink and kind of situate yourself, you'd like to get the speeches started in hopefully about 10 minutes. So if you get a drink, kind of get yourself situated, we've got about 10 minutes before we get the speeches started. After we get the speeches started, there won't be any service. So if we can get that going as soon as possible, that would be good so we can keep this thing moving. Thank you. For those of you who haven't figured out where the drink tables are, they're on the north.
Thanks, Dan.
can we start settling in? That would be great. All right, folks. Thank you for being here with us today. I would like to start by just welcoming you all to your new airport terminal. My name is Randy Cooper. I'm the airport director here at Jack McNamara Field, and it's truly our pleasure to welcome each and every one of you today to this very exciting day. Thank you for sharing in this very special moment with us. As most of you probably know, this project has been a long time coming. If you've flown through the old Cleveland terminal, I'm sure you're just excited as we are about this day. I'd like to take a brief moment just to point your attention to the digital displays that we have and acknowledge the efforts and contributions from the many generous folks and local businesses. This is a small community, but when we pull ourselves together, we can really do amazing things. Susan's going to have some further thanks as far as those folks that were involved in the terminal project. However, I did want to take just a brief second to acknowledge some of the folks who helped make today's event so special. In particular, I want to acknowledge our veterans who assisted in the flag raising ceremony. We had Richard B. Davis, Captain Mark Rutledge, and the Brookings Marine Corps League. Many of you know Captain Rutledge, who was the son of Sam and Eileen Rutledge of Gaspee. Captain Rutledge was part of the last aviation class here at Del Mar High School, where he won the Don Clausen Aviation Award for Excellence, and then actually went on to the U.S. Air Force Academy, and has since had a long and distinguished career in commercial aviation. So thank you, Captain Rutledge. And I'm sure that you all know Mr. Davis, who's a lifelong Del Mariner, and in addition to his services to his country, was a pioneering land surveyor utilizing aircraft-based survey techniques, and also happens to be my neighbor up in Gaspee. So thank you, Dick. I'd like to acknowledge Zach Stanton, who is the photographer of many of the beautiful photos you see on the digital displays here behind me, as well as Steve Bird, who's here providing our live music this evening. So thank you, Zach and Steve. And then finally, I just want to thank the advertisers that we have had step forward to support the airport. We truly appreciate your support. We couldn't do it without you. So thank you to the advertisers that have jumped on with our new advertising campaign here at the airport. Thank you very much. Let's see. We're going to cut you all loose here in a little bit to run the loosening place, but it is an airport. And I feel it's an obligation as an airport director to tell you, please don't touch some of the sensitive screening equipment, some of the artwork, some of the other displays that we have set up. So with that out of the way, again, welcome to your airport terminal. We're very grateful to have you all here with us today. This is a very exciting day for the community. And with that, I'm going to turn it over to Susan, who I would like to invite up at this time. So before I actually give the mic over to Susan, I do want to point out that many people have been involved in this terminal project. Many people through the years. This is, as I said, a long-standing project. You know, we could be all night thank people. But I think Susan in particular deserves our appreciation for her single-minded determination in making this reality come to fruition today. And so on behalf of the folks that are working with her today and the people that have worked with her in the past, I wanted to present Susan with a token of our respect and appreciation in the form of a plaque that we intend to put up in the terminal here. Thank you, Carrie. So the plaque says, the plaque is hereby dedicated to Susan Doherty by her colleagues at the Border Coast Regional Airport Authority in recognition of her significant efforts in the design and construction of this terminal at Jack McNamara Field, dedicated this 22nd day of February 2019. Thank you, Susan.
That was a nice thing to do right before I have to talk. Thank you, Randy. Thank you, Border Coast Board. It's been a journey and an exciting one, and one that I'm glad I've experienced. So, moving on to our introductions, I wanted to start by introducing our current board, the Border Coast Regional Airport Authority. We have our chairman, Jerry Henson. Next to him is Commissioner Lori Cowan. Both from Del County representatives. Our public member is Commissioner David Finnegan. He definitely has been here from the beginning. Then we have our City of Brookings representative, Gary Melman. Our new to the board and very welcome representative from Curry County, Commissioner Christopher Pash. Then we have our Elk Valley Rancheria representative, our Vice Chair, Dale Miller, who's also been here from the beginning. Next to Dale is our commissioner from the Tullawadini Nation, and that is Kara Miller. And last but most certainly not least, our representative from the City of Crescent City, Commissioner Heidi Kahn. There will be other people introduced as we go on, and I'll certainly introduce our speakers that we are so glad to have here today. But we're going to start off with Commissioner David Finnegan giving us a little bit of the early history.
It may look like a lot of pages, but it's triple spaced. Don't worry about it. I'll try to be quick. Try not to single people out, because I think that'll be done later on by somebody else. But I just want to tell you that what you see here today really is it's vision and perseverance is what it is. And it started about 20 years ago. The airport used to be under county management. It was owned and operated by the county through the Community Development Department with advice from the Aviation Advisory Committee. In 1997, we dedicated the old terminal building to Congressman Don Clausen. We had McNamara Field. We didn't have a name for the building, so we dedicated it after Congressman Don. We had talks about building improvements, building expansion, runway extensions. Some of the initial studies, we talked about everything we could do to expand. We talked about, unfortunately, we picked the wrong person to do some of the studies for us, because one of the results came back and we should all take a bus down to Arcata. Found out that, anyway, that wasn't really what we wanted to do. Congressman Thompson weighed in with funding support, as our congressman at the time, for improvements and financing through some of the matching fund requirements. And then we hit our first roadblock, and that was in 2001, and that was 9/11. Airport security then became the #1 item throughout the land. That was security fencing, a new trailer for screening and boarding, and we pleaded that we couldn't add to the terminal. They said no. So more planning sessions took place over the next several years, strategies for runway safety areas, talks of new terminal buildings. We have the tendency to put the cart before the horse because we'd be making plans that if you actually implemented those plans before the funding was there, you couldn't get reimbursed. Still, we talked about remodel, expansion, adding to the existing building, and then that got knocked out early on because of the asbestos in that building. So, meanwhile, we built the ARF, the fire building over there, and then the beginning of the real opposition. I don't know if any of you noticed across the street that ancient Sitka spruce forest. Anyway, there's also wetlands and endangered species, and really we thought that the best way to overcome some of this was to focus on the governance at the airport. And we were very fortunate at that time to have a gentleman by the name of Bob Black who knew something about JPAs. So in 2007, the county, Elk Valley Rancheria with the partner Dale Miller, the city, all formed a JPA. And then in 2008, we added Brookings. So we were extremely fortunate. One of the reasons for the success was the JPA had Bob Black, Dale Miller, and Gary Milliman. Fortunately, also, we had Jim Bernard, who was our director at the time. He kept our focus. He engaged the community with presentations of the governments and the business community. He was our liaison to the FAA and other governmental agencies. He dealt with NEPA. We all did. Cultural evaluations, master lease agreements with the county, amendments to the JPA, and in 2009 we went looking for a construction management company for the terminal. And at that time it was determined that it would be terminal replacement. Congressman Thompson and Congressman DeFazio met here on site. They liked the idea of the Border Coast Economic Development Zone, the Border Coast Regional Airport Authority, and we went up to Brookings and viewed that airport as well, and they both pledged maximum support to our airport here. In 2010, we added Curry County. We also added the Tolowadeni Nation after lobbying in Sacramento to allow for sovereign nations to be recognized as local governments so they could join the JPA. In 2010, it brought stimulus funding for the terminal, RSA, the runway safety area, the airport layout plans, the terminal design workshops, having charrettes where we all get together and talk about what kind of siding and what we wanted it to look like and what was important. The runway safety area, however, became the priority and the focus of funding. There was a mandate by the federal government to make sure that we had it by 2014, but we still worked on the terminal. In 2012, we ramped up the concepts and the programming phase. That included coastal development permits, Army Corps of Engineers, Coastal Commission, Fish and Wildlife, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera, the whole alphabet soup. We went up and down the state with Jim Bernard to the Coastal Commission, no fewer than 4 times, talking about a myriad of issues, some that I'll mention here in just a bit. We also went back to Washington, D.C. and talked with the Army Corps of Engineers. We also talked with FHA about how to plan and use the funds to do the runway safety area as well as to do the terminal at the same time without stepping on each other's funding pot. As opposition and problems popped up, we negotiated, we compromised. You know, the location, we compromised on things like the location of the building. It was supposed to be further east. The size of the building. Fortunately, when one of those decisions was made by one of those government entities, we had 3 airplanes stacked up over at the terminal. We had a flight ready to take off, one that was diverted here and one that was broke down. So it was quite apparent that we needed something larger than what was there. We talked about the location of the parking lot. That also was supposed to be across the street. Access roads, we were thinking about coming in from from the ag department. We had to have sewer instead of septic. We had to have frog tunnels. I don't know if anybody remembers that. And we had to have signage regarding those frogs so you wouldn't run them over. So every time we were presented with something like this, we had engineering and architectural designs. Vanner, who was our management consultants or management in charge of it for the airport, Vanner came to the rescue with architectural creativity. And this is one of those architectural creativity marvels that they came up with. Because of the vision, the commitment, the compromise, and the persistence, what they said would never happen, you get to enjoy today. speaker, Congressman Jared Huffman.
Well, congratulations, Del Norte County, and congratulations especially to Dave Finnegan, because you know, I thought my staff and I had been working on this project for a long time. Dave just gave us the full context. This has been one heck of a journey, and we arrived in 2013 to help with some of the permitting pieces of this, and really the final push. But Dave, you deserve an awful lot of credit for your perseverance and the vision and the skill you brought to make this a reality. Now, I remember flying in several times to the old building, and I know that many of you may at some point look back nostalgically at that old airport terminal, which felt like some remote outpost in Kodiak, Alaska or something. But because of the commitment of your air authorities here, your community leaders, Dave Finnegan, and many, many others, as well as the partnership with the FFA at the federal level, what you have here is an airport for the future, for the 21st century. And I think it's something we can all be very, very proud of. I just want to give a shout out. I don't know if anyone from the FAA is here, but it's very significant that they realize what a critical facility and resource this is for the entire North Coast community. It's also significant that this airport serves Southern Oregon, because my colleague, my neighbor to the north, is Peter DeFazio. Dave mentioned him. Peter is the new chairman of the House Transportation and Infrastructure Committee. That's the committee that has oversight over aviation. So he is a great ally for us all to have as we take care of the needs of this airport into the future. We have built this beautiful terminal, but we wouldn't be able to operate the flights that service this community, Contour Air, servicing us so well, if it weren't for a federal program called Essential Air Service that provides some federal subsidy to serve communities like Del Norte County to level the playing field with some of the bigger communities and their airports. Every time there's an FAA authorization battle back in Congress, Peter DeFazio and I have to go to battle to fight for that program. And we have successfully kept it going. I want to promise you that we will be there to fight to preserve it into the future so that we will not only have a beautiful terminal, but we'll have actual air service at this terminal going forward. So thank you, Dave. Thank you all. Congratulations.
And I would like to introduce and welcome our next speaker, who is Assembly Member Jim Wood.
Well, first of all, congratulations once again, and the amazing power of persistence to get something like this done. I don't think a lot of people really realize the significance of a welcoming place like this for visitors to come. We've seen it in other areas, in Sonoma County, for example, where the expansion of the terminal there has attracted not just one, but not just two, but additional airlines coming in there. And it brings huge economic value to your community. And it's a huge sense of a source of pride for this community. This is an absolutely gorgeous facility, and so it is true. As a congressman said, this is built for the 21st century, and I don't know what you're going to do with the nostalgia here in the end of with the old terminal, but I don't think we ever forget it. Excuse me. But this is a huge thing, and it goes back to all of the people that took to get this done. Many communities would have said, I don't think we can do it. And the resilience and the stick-to-itiveness of this community to get it done after all these years. Congratulations to all of you, and especially the folks that are sitting up here who helped us through the process. And the foresight to do the JPA. What a wonderful way to do this. So I'm here to congratulate you on behalf of the state of California. We'll have a little resolution here. But Thomas Witzel is here on behalf of Senator McGuire, and he'd like to say a couple words.
Thank you all so much for letting me be here. As Assemblymember Wood said, my name is Thomas Witzel. I'm Senator McGuire's district representative for Del Norte, Trinity, and Humboldt counties, and no pressure going after two great speeches from elected. So there's that. I have to tell you first, before I start, that Senator McGuire hates that he can't be here today. Really upset. He's in Mendocino County for the day, but he asked me to say a couple words on his behalf. So today we're bearing witness to over 20 years of hard work and determination, and we can't thank those community leaders enough. Those who never lost faith in this critical project and continue to push forward. This beautiful new terminal is a perfect welcome center to California's North Coast and will be an economic driver for this amazing community for years to come. This terminal will provide an opportunity to bring in new visitors and old friends alike, all to experience the beauty of Delmar County. And visitors will see firsthand the incredible sense of community that Crescent City residents are so proud of. It's a good time to be a Delmar citizen right now, isn't it? It has a tremendous momentum, with the last chance grade environmental study finally moving forward, relaunching the LVN to RN program at CR, and many new businesses opening up. It's definitely an exciting time to be a part of this community. This terminal represents millions of dollars, thousands of hours, hundreds of individuals, and the idea that if we put our minds together, there's nothing that can stop us from accomplishing our goals. Congratulations, Delmar County, Crescent City, all those involved. Thank you for allowing me to be here today with all of you at this celebration. And on that note, I'm going to turn it back over to Assemblymember Wood to present a Senate resolution.
So on behalf of myself and Senator McGuire, the state of California, we'd like to offer this resolution in honoring this day. This is a momentous occasion for Delmar County and for this facility, and congratulations. And I don't know who ordered the weather, but keep it coming, right? Yeah.
Thank you so much. Next, we have our own Commissioner Milliman from the City of Brookings to read a letter to you from Congressman DeFazio.
I'm honored to read a letter from Congressman Peter DeFazio, who represents the southwest area of Oregon. It reads as follows. I'm sorry that I cannot join you for the grand opening of the new Delmar County Regional Airport Terminal in Crescent City. As a congressman from Oregon, it is unusual for me to involve myself in projects located in California. But true to its name, the Delmar County Regional Airport is an asset to the entire region. For my constituents and the businesses in Southwest Oregon, this airport is a key gateway to the rest of the country. Underway for the better part of the last 16 years, this project is long in the making. Airport stakeholders wisely saw the need for regional cooperation and created the Border Coast Regional Airport Authority in 2007, with seats on its governing board reserved for the City of Brookings and Curry County, located in the southwestern corner of my Oregon district. It has been a regional effort crossing state lines to see this project to completion. Rural Southwest Oregon and Northwest California are uniquely separated from the rest of the great states and desperately need continued air service to ensure the ongoing health and success of their people and economies. For these reasons, I have fought for years to secure additional funding for the airport. Although it has been a long and sometimes difficult process to secure the necessary funding, I've been proud to work closely with Congressman Mike Thompson and Jared Huffman to see this project through development, funding, and now finally completion. The new terminal has been designed to meet the needs of this region today, as well as changing needs in the future. Again, congratulations on this exciting day. Sincerely, Peter A. DeFazio, Member of Congress. Thank you.
And now our final speaker that I am so pleased to have here, someone that I have come to consider a personal friend. I think that he and his entire crew are also a friend of Delmar and Curry County, and we need to let him know how much we appreciate him. I would like to bring up my friend Matt Chavitz, the CEO of Contour Airlines.
So So, who here has flown Contour? All right, that's what I like to see. Hold on, I made a couple of notes. You know, it was not even a year ago that we showed up here to clean the bird poop out of the old terminal in preparation for our first flight. That's not a joke. And it was just about a year and a half ago that Contour had its first call with Susan Doherty and Matt Leitner, the airport director at the time. And I need to put this in perspective because everyone needs to know how appreciative we are of the community support that we have here. At the time that we were introduced to Susan and Matt, Contour served a grand total of 4 cities across the country. While the company had been in business for 35 years or so, we were relatively new to scheduled airline service. We've only been operating scheduled airline service for just under 3 years. And so when we came out here for what I'm sure Jerry will remember was a pretty contentious presentation to the Border Coast Regional Airport Authority with 2 other airlines competing for the route, we were humbled and honored that the airport authority selected Contour to be your air service provider. And that's not a responsibility that we've taken lightly. To show you how relevant the airport authority selection has been for us, that was a catalyst to other service. And in just 1 year, Contour has grown from serving 4 cities to serving 17 cities across the country. So those of you that know Susan, I'm sure this will come as no surprise, we had just been awarded the contract when Susan approached me with the idea of adding more flights. And given the historical passenger traffic numbers here, I said, look, Susan, if we can make money doing it, we'll do it. But the government's paying for 7 flights a week, and so that's what we're going to start with, 7 flights a week. And then the community responded. And I can tell you that in August of last year, over 90% of the seats on our flights out of Crescent City were booked. And I really should have known, because when we did the inaugural flight, honestly, we became part of the community that day. We had so much fun on the inaugural flight that every passenger on the inaugural flight headed over to Sequake to keep the party going. I raced my CFO back to the hotel barefoot that night. We were saying that in the rain. Speaking of Sequake, I have an exciting announcement to make. Starting on Saturday, Contour will be serving complimentary Sequake beer on our flights into Crescent City. And that's what I mean when I say we are part of the community. When I walk into a terminal building and I know people by their first names, which is not attributable to my memory, I promise you, that to me tells me that we've developed relationships here, that this is a place of critical importance, not just from a business perspective, but because we recognize that what we provide here is a vital service to the community. It's not called essential air service, you know, because it's not essential. I've done the drive to Medford. That is terrible. I would never want to have to do that to catch a flight. So, you know, to have this terminal here is just so remarkable because this terminal has everything you could possibly want. It's got everything you need. It's got a kids' play area over there. It's got power outlets in the seats in the hold room. The only thing this terminal is missing is more flights. And so, I'm not going to let August sneak up on me again and have over 90% of the seats filled without being able to capture the pent-up demand that we know exists here. So I'm very proud to announce that Susan's dream has come true. And beginning May 15th, I'm not aware of really any other city where this occurs, but we will be adding 4 additional flights per week for the summer season, unsubsidized. We won't receive a penny of government money for those flights, 4 frequencies per week at our own risk from May 15th through September 15th for the busy summer season. But if there's one thing that this terminal should show you, it's that airports and airlines cost a lot of money, and that money, when spent, can be put to good use. So I want to just make everyone aware of the fact that if we can reach 10,000 enplanements out of Crescent City, that's 10,000 boarded passengers a year, this airport will receive $1 million in airport improvement funding. So you choosing to fly from your hometown airport on your hometown airline provides dollars that will get reinvested into this community to provide further enhancements, whether it be in the form of infrastructure improvements. That money is at the airport submits how they want to use it, but that is a grant given to the airport if we hit 10,000 enplanements. So those 4 extra flights per week, I've done the math. Without the 4 extra flights per week, we're on track to hit about 8,300 passengers a year. So we need to fill about 25 out of the 30 seats on the extra flights to hit 10,000. And I think we can do it. So I encourage you, when you are looking to travel, you first look at ContourAirlines.com for your service to Oakland, 2 departures a day from Crescent City on Thursday, Friday, Sunday, Monday at 7 a.m. and at 1:45 p.m. The 7 a.m. flight operates daily. And northbound from Oakland at 10:55 a.m. and 6 p.m. The 6 p.m. is the daily flight. The 10:55 is the one that will operate on Thursday, Friday, Sunday, and Monday. And you figure out how to fly from Crescent City. Because the more you choose to fly here, I promise you, as crazy as it is, I never thought I'd be saying this, but I will add more flights. So, let's make it happen.
And you can take that man seriously. He is true to his word. So, Randy, you want to with me? So now if you will just bear with us for just a little bit more, I do want to recognize some other folks. So a terminal that takes 2 decades to materialize also takes a lot of people working towards a common goal. I'd like to recognize some of those people who are here today, and you can either wave from where you're standing or step forward, whatever you like, get your recognition. First, I want to mention one of our original board members is here today, Kelly Shalong. She was our first representative from the city of Crescent City. Other board members that are here today, I think I've seen them anyway. I know that Catherine Murray is here. Dan Harrison is here as well. Are there any other prior board members of the Board of Trustees? I don't think so, okay. Also, I want to recognize, I've introduced you to our board, but I again want to recognize our legal counsel, Robert Black, and the large part that he played in this. Commissioner Finnegan mentioned former airport director Jim Bernard had a great deal of involvement with this project. Jim passed away a year ago, but we are so pleased to have his wife Chris and his son Jeffrey here with us today. I also want to recognize 2 folks back from when it was still under Delaware County that worked towards a new terminal, and that is Ernie Perry and Wilma Madden. They were part of county efforts early on to bring a new terminal to our area. certainly not be here without the assistance and funding of the Federal Aviation Administration, who are represented here today by Arlene Draper, who is the Manager of Planning and Programming Branch of the Western Pacific Region, who will never forget her first walk-in to our old terminal. She'll love to tell you the story. With her is Lori Sotomayor, the Assistant Manager of the San Francisco Area Airports District Office. We're pleased to have her here. And it's one that is very near and dear to any BACRA staff member who has ever worked through the tough environmental details that we do here on the West Coast. That is Camille Garibaldi, again, a friend and assistant to this area. She's an environmental protection specialist with the FAA, and we will continue to use her services, and we appreciate her very much. We additionally appreciate the matching funds received by a loan with the County of Del Norte and those Del Norte supervisors who approved that funding. Thank you. From Banner Construction Management Firm, we have Steve Whitehead, President. We have, oh, you're way back there, Steve. We have Jim Aboitis, who has been with Banner and part of this program from very early on, who is a director there. And I don't know, do we have Bob Fletcher here? He didn't make it, okay. And Dave Bose, who many people in this community know, he's been our construction manager through 3 projects now. And yeah, has become my brother from another mother. Then we also have here, let's see, okay. We also have a former Banner employee that I really kind of would like to step forward when I call his name, and that is Sam Wolfgram. Sam Wolfgram has moved on from Banner and has his own architectural firm now. But back when we did bridging documents on this terminal, it was Sam Wolfgram's design dreams, the ones that you've seen as artistic renderings, the one who first imagined this building that we tried to bring to life. Thank you so much, Sam. From AECOM, our architect and engineering firm, we have John Yarnish. Hi, John. And former AECOM employee Jim Young, who was one of the architects that worked on the job along the way as well. From GHD, our environmental consulting firm, we have Ken Mirswa. Hi, Ken. And we have William Schultz. From our contractor, Danco Builders, we have our construction supervisor, Rob Flint. And he has been fabulous to work with. Is Terry here? Oh, there he is. And we have Terry Wilson, the operations manager for Danco. We additionally have Zach Stanton, he is a laborer and he is our lifesaver here day after day, who also took the beautiful photographs that are on the screen. So photographer extraordinaire. So that doesn't even include all the really terrific subcontractors that worked under Danco. We have so many people at artist level of what they do and what they love to do, and we really appreciate that. Additionally, Delaware County Engineering, who designed the parking lot for us, and the first phase when we did the road, and also Delaware County IT that has just been working so hard to get us up and running and ready for today. So I need to mention as well the rest of the airport staff that works hard every day to bring you airport service and keep this airport up and running and improve for you all the time. That is Patty Stanley, Jeffrey Daniels, and Preston Smith. worked so hard to bring this terminal to our region. We would like to present a Delaware County Airport at Jack McNamara Field building plaque that will go up here in the terminal. Yeah. It's very heavy. We can set it back down here if you want to. So before I turn the microphone over to Chairman Hemmingson for his closing remarks, I just wanted to remind everyone that the hold room area, baggage handling, administrative offices will be open for viewing, and we'll have them open until 6 o'clock when we need to close up because we do have a flight coming in tonight. When you are
on time, I might add.
On time. On time. That's the way we like them. Additionally, I'm going to remind you again to please not touch anything. Please observe the signs where you are, where public is not allowed. Additionally, don't forget to view the photo display of Kyoko Epperson that's presented by the Delaware County Association for Cultural Awareness as part of their Art in Public Places program. That's upstairs in the mezzanine, and her work is beautiful. Additionally, take time to view the beautiful display cases down at this end, honoring our sister city relationship with Rikuzen Takata. Thank you very much, and I'm going to turn this over to Chairman Hemmingson.
Yeah, I just, to make this quick, I know you've listened to a lot of speeches, and David made this project sound so easy, so I don't want to get into that too much, but I was there from the beginning of the JPA as well as the end of the Airport Advisory Committee, and it has been a lot of work, and David did a lot of that spearheading of the work. He deserves a lot of appreciation for that, so I do appreciate that. Thank you, David. I want to thank everybody who showed up. What a great number of people that showed up for this. It shows the community support for this. Great building. We're very happy to have it. Builders did a great job. Susan Doherty, who ramrodded the ramrods, she did an absolutely wonderful job. So I just want to thank everybody for showing up, and please enjoy the facility. We're going to go on a tour.
There's not tours, but areas open.
Okay. Yeah, you're welcome to go into the areas that are open. Please enjoy yourself. And with that,
there'll be beer, wine, and food.
I'd like to close the.
Yeah, you can.
Close the meeting without public comment.
Oh,
I'm
I
afraid
think
to
you
ask for
tried.
public comment.
There's your legal counsel right there. We need to do public comment.